Hi, good afternoon, everybody. This is Kenya Rockmine, the founder and author of the Child Support Hustle and the Reform Child Support Now movement. Hope everybody's doing okay. I'm sorry it took me so long. I didn't mean to come on this late, but I had technical difficulties. You guys know I don't know how to operate this stuff. I'm trying to learn, and when my tech guy is out, my son, then I'm left to my own devices, so to speak. So I hope everybody's doing okay. First, I want to thank everybody. Let's see if anybody will come in, and even if nobody joins us, if anybody comes in, if they don't join me, I still want to make this video so you can go back and maybe reference if you're needing to do a modification on your child support order. Okay, let me give it a couple more minutes. Oh, I want to get Marcus on here. Let me, hold on guys, I'm going to Marcus in here. Don't let me. No. Okay, so hopefully he'll come on. I said, well, no, I'm not going to do that. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so I want to talk today about garnishments. I posted a couple of, I don't know if it was 2 paycheck stubs that a couple of parents had sent in to me, and the take-home pay was very low. There wasn't livable wages. So that's what sparked this need for me to do this video about modifications and when you should ask for one. First, I want to say garnishments. We all know what they are. They take them out. But here's the definition. As far as they should be, as far as coming out of your paycheck, they are limited to the amount to be lesser of the state maximum or the maximum under the Consumer Credit Protection Act. Now, that means 50% if you are supporting a spouse and or child whose support has been ordered, 60% if not supporting a spouse or child, 55 to 65% if the garnishment or other evidence submitted indicate the original support order is 12 or more weeks in arrears. Now, we know that's an issue because a lot of people have a child support order and they also have families that they support outside of that order. And they're not supposed to take all the money that they're taking. So I've seen instances where after I did the math, they were taking 70%, 75%, and I just read you the law. That's from Social Security. I put links in the comments or in the description of this video so that you can go and look this up if you want to. By law, they're not supposed to go higher than 65%. And if you're being charged for arrears on your garnishments, sometimes we have child support order 1, 2, 3. So people just assume that it's for 9 or 3 or 4 kids, where actually it might be one order, but they're garnishing it 3 or 4 times for arrears, for interest, for whatever. So I want you guys to be aware that they are supposed to only take 55 to 65% of your, which is ridiculous, if the garnishment or other evidence submitted indicate that the original support order is 12 or more weeks in arrears. If you're not in arrears, that's why I'm bounce back and forth, but I always suggest that if you have a balance due to the child support court, allegedly, that you request an itemized statement or an itemized bill. Make them prove that you owe what they say you owe. Anybody can send you anything and say, oh, you owe me $12,000. Well, prove it and give them, say line by line. And if the child support worker doesn't want to provide that for you, or they keep sending you a statement with the total amount that you allegedly owe on there, then go a step higher, go to the supervisor. If they don't want to do it, go to the state. If they don't want to do it, you go to the federal Office of Child Support Enforcement. They are the overseers of all of these states. And as I've said before, as taxpayers, they work for the government and they work for us. So if you want an itemized statement to show that you owe $50,000 in arrears for a 2-year-old, it happens, make them prove it. Or a more realistic number, 10,000, and you just found out about a child support order a year ago, but they go retroactively. Well, make them go back and show you every penny, make them prove it. Okay, so here's when you can, here's some of the guidelines for a modification. Modification is going in and saying, hey, I want to decrease this child support amount because I can't afford it. It's causing me a financial hardship. I can't pay my rent. I'm living in my car, whatever your situation. And this is for any situation. It's not just if you're working. If you have a child support order and you become disabled or anything, I'll get into that. Okay, so all states are required by federal law to have procedures for periodic review and adjustments of child support orders. Now they say every 3 years, and TANF, non-TANF child support orders every 3 years at the request of the parent. But if it's a non-TANF case, then either parent can request at any time, or if there's a change in circumstance. Now the change must be between, and this is still on, well, this is on the Federal Child Support Enforcement Agency. Again, these links are in the description of this video. The change must be between 10 and to 20% in most states. Now that's decreased because it used to be at least 25%. So check on that. If and that's examples of that. If you lose your job, if you hurt yourself and become disabled, if you become homeless, anything that drastically decreases your income by 10 to 20%, then you have the right to request a modification to get it decreased, to get your child support order decreased, I'm sorry. So there's administrative modifications and judicial modifications. Of course, the administrative are going straight through the Child Support Enforcement Agency, and the judicial is going through the courts. Now, I had a parent reach out to me, and he was interested in doing a modification, which he was going to do. I think he was one of the parents that sent me his paycheck stub, and they were going to charge him $150 or something like that to file for this modification. Check with your state the guidelines. A lot of times these courts, the court system, clerk of courts will have a form that you can fill out. I can't tell you the exact name of the form or number because they vary from state to state, but they should all have a form that if you cannot afford or to pay the fees, which most people usually can't because they're getting garnished 65-75% of their check, then you can fill out a form and they'll waive the filing fee. So please don't let the filing fee be a deterrent from you filing for a modification if you need to. Okay, so you can either do the administrative or the judicial. First go through the administrative, and you can usually get those off of the website for your local agency. And they'll have you fill out forms to reflect your income. If you're working, provide your W-2s or earning and leave statements, prove what you're making and prove that your income has shifted or decreased. Okay, so there hasn't been, I found this interesting. On the modifications, they haven't updated on the federal website that if you're incarcerated, that you can automatically get a reduction in your child support order, or you can get it stopped if you're incarcerated for more than 180 days. So they're still on this website, on the federal website, still saying that incarceration is voluntary unemployment. So when you go to this link, because when you go to this link and you see this in the document, I also included the link that said that President Obama, before he left office, passed a law that if you are incarcerated for more than 180 days, you can file to have your child support stopped or decreased. And I did a video on that specifically, and that can be found at our website, thechildsupporthustle.com, because I don't have the notes and everything, so I can't go in detail. But the link to one of the reports, one of the articles of that mandate that he passed is in the notes if you need a reference. So yeah, they still consider unemployment voluntary unemployment, and they also list on there www.lawhelp.org, and I went on there and looked at some forms, some information. I personally wouldn't trust their links to their legal advice or legal advisors, just because we know how they operate. So, and if you don't get the, let me stop for a second, you guys. I know which parent has the right to file their child for tax purposes, the one that pays. The tax thing is a big issue. Most parents that I have spoken with are not allowed to, a person's application is what it's called. Thanks, Edmund. A poor person's application is what Edmund Welsh says it's called. Thank you. That's a back and forth. You hear different sides on who gets to file. Most of the time, the custodial parent is the one that gets to file taxes on that child. Now, I'm not a tax expert, nor do I pretend to be, so I'm not going to go there. I'll look and see if I can find some more specific information to that and post it so that what I'm giving, whatever I'm telling you guys is accurate. So, but in my experience, it's usually the custodial parent, even though the non-custodial parent or non-residential parent is the one that is paying a lot of money. But I mean, it depends. But the custodial parent is the one that can claim the children on their taxes. So if you're denied, if your modification is denied and you have submitted all your paperwork and you show proof that your income has changed in this 10 to 15% range, you become disabled, whatever your circumstance, and they deny it, then I always suggest the next level is to file a complaint against that agency with the Federal Child Support Enforcement Agency in DC, and have them go over, and when you find out, make sure they tell you exactly why. Why did you deny my modification? Those are the questions that you want to ask. If they just say it's denied and that's it, that's not good enough. Go back and say, why are you denying this? And make sure you keep the dates, that if it's denied, make sure you have that date so it can go back retroactively if and when it is awarded or granted. And that's the modification process. And I really encourage, if you're paying and you can't afford to pay, please file for a modification. You have a right to take care of yourself and a right to feed yourself and house yourself. And you shouldn't be, by law, you shouldn't be paying 70-80% of your paycheck to child support. They're legally not allowed to do that. So next, I want to talk about, we have a town hall coming up in Huntsville, Alabama, week after next, last year, February 24th, and it's going to be at the Richard Showers Center, 4600 Blue Spring Road Northwest in Huntsville, Alabama, February 24th. It's going to be from 1 to 4. On the taxes, I used to be switched. Oh, do they still do that, Byron? If you have any information, please share. I'm just not sure. I've always been a custodial parent, so I always claim my kids on my taxes, so that's why I'm not familiar with that. The Child Support Hustle is going to be hosted by Marcus Eccles and Empowering Strategies. Marcus is, of course, the producer of the Child Support Hustle Blog Talk radio show, and he was with me when we went to the town hall in Tennessee. So he's hosting, and we have some great guests coming. And we're going to have Edmund Welch, if he's still with us. Hi, Edmund. Can't wait to meet you in person. He's the founder of Disgusted Dads. He'll be there. Michael Volpe. He's the author of Bullied to Death, the Chris Mackney story. I'm sorry, I didn't get the rest of the title of the book, but it's VOLPE, Michael Volpe. Randall Stroud from Nalini Global. He was also present at the town hall in Tennessee. He'll be there. My good friend Carnell Alexander from the Carnell Alexander Foundation is coming from Michigan. Of course, you know his story, victim of paternity fraud, still fighting the state of Michigan. And Amin Osiris is going to hopefully join us. Hopefully we won't have any technical difficulties. As long as I'm not working it, we should be fine. But yes, he's going to join us via live stream. So they're getting all that straightened out. And I know that he's really knowledgeable on child support issues. And as with everybody that's going to be on our panel, we have one more guest and we're still, hopefully he'll make it. I don't want to say his name just yet because we don't know for sure if he's going to be able to make it. But we have that. We have this all-star lineup of advocates fighting for child support reform. So if you're in Huntsville, close to Huntsville, want to come out, please come out. They have to see that we are, you know, coming together. We're fighting. Thanks, Byron. Texas. What about the state of Texas, Delma? Okay, thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate that. I've lost my train of thought. Okay, so we have that coming up. The next one, hopefully, will be in Atlanta. We're still in the very early stages of that one, so I'll keep you guys posted. The Child Support Hustle book, this has a bunch of information in it. If you want to know about the system, all about the system, I expose them. And everything in here had all the references. This is not a book written. If you're looking for my poor story or, you know, the story of my life, you're not going to get it here. This is about the system and exposing the system for the unconstitutionality that the unconstitutional child support system, I'm sorry. So get the book, available at our website. We have our t-shirt, the Child Support Hustle t-shirts. If you plan on coming out, you can order that. And we had a black and white one also. Show your support. Of course, 100% of the proceeds goes towards fighting for child support reform. Thank you, Quincy. Oh, you got your book. Yeah, Osiris is supposed to be the guru. So I'm looking forward to having him and hearing what he has to say. So if you don't mind, can you give me a review on my book in the reviews or in the comments? I appreciate it. Did you get your shirt? And let me see. I had one more thing, I think. And to finish up, I want to say, a lot of people think that when I say the child support hustle, that I'm talking about the custodial parent hustling the non-custodial parent. Don't get me wrong, it happens, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the government hustling parents. If you're new to my page, if you've been here for a while, you know I post different articles, different things from Twitter, and a young lady posted that she received 4 cents on her child support payment. The child support is for the children, and if the child support was for the children, I would still hate the system because of the laws. They're unconstitutional. However, I could understand it more because the children would be benefiting from the payments, but they are not. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and that's just on the child support payments. That's just the money that they make off of the child support payments. Then you have the private child support collection agencies, the banks that process the payments, the payment here places, the little kiosks, they get a cut of it. Not to mention the jails. I was waiting for Marcus. Oh, there's Marcus. Okay, there you go. The jails, localities, the jails, the courts get money off of this child support system. It's not about child care, child providing for your child. We've been doing that. People have been providing for their children since the beginning of time without somebody saying, you need to pay $50 a week or you're going to jail. And then send them 4 cents as if that's not a slap in the face. So if I was the one that received 4 cents on a child support check, I would have been on that next day going to closing that case. Because obviously they still, because you know that man didn't pay 4 cents of child support. So where's the money? That's what the child support hustle is about over here. Now, I don't know what everybody says over there. You know, it's always this, it's a broke bitch hustle. It's a broke. I've never said that, and I never would say that. That's not what's in my book. That's not what's in my blogs. That's not what I talk about. This is strictly about the government pimping us and our children. So for anybody that's in my inbox talking about I support this or that, no, please do your research. If you're going to send me a nasty message or send me a threat, please know what you're talking about. Please at least know what you're talking about. I'd appreciate it. Now, I did get kind of personal there because I don't like threats. I have family, I have kids myself. So, but I don't, and anybody that works with me, the child support hustle team, we always say, parents, take care of your children. We can do it without the government robbing us. You young parents right now, about to have a baby, or you just had a baby and everybody's in your ear, get child support, get child support. Know what you're signing before you sign it. Y'all try to work it out. Okay, if they're going to give you 4 cents and he's going to give you $50, hey, at least he's going to give you all of it. They're going to nickel and dime you to death. And that baby is not going to get the money. I can't stress that enough. And I've always said, if somebody comes and shows me or tells me, and I've been doing this for a long time, anything different, I will change my stance. I will say, you know what? The child support system is not a hustle. I'm sorry I said it. I interpreted it wrong. I will be the first one to say face. I don't mind admitting I'm wrong. But I haven't found that yet. So until, I'm gonna still fight for reform. I'm gonna fight for you. I'm gonna fight for whoever comes and wants to work with me. If you need help with your case, like I said, let me know. By email, it's contact, I don't know it by heart, but just go to the childsupporthustle.com and there's a contact us form you can fill out. The new client form, instead of you guys sending me like a message with your situation, I have an automatic message that's going to reply to you, and then there's a link to a form. Please fill that out. That will help me determine how best to help you more quickly. And I also have an assistant now. Hi, Chi. So I'll hopefully get caught up on a lot of stuff. I finished writing my last piece, and I'm gonna have that out next week. And I'll let you guys know. And just to as we know, as anybody that follows the child support system or advocates, it's often said that the child support system was designed to destroy the Black family. Now, if you follow me or you've been here for a while, you know I say the only color that the government cares about is money green. It's all about money. So I said, let me research it, and I did. So I found out a lot of information and wrote about it. I'm finishing my edits, and I'll be putting that out. So I'm anxious to hear feedback and see what you guys think when you read it. Just let me know what you think, and if y'all think the results of what I put out, or if y'all think that's what what you expected, or if you think they're wrong. I want some. I want to have a conversation about that. The HungerNet website. Okay, I will. Right, welfare reform. Back when Bill Clinton passed welfare reform and the child support reform back in 98. And all they did was transfer welfare to child support. So it's a welfare recovery program. And that's what they're there to do. Those Title 40 funding, that's what they're there to do. Collect money for the government. Recover money that they spend on low income people, and try to recoup that dollar. And the slides that I'm putting out, I'm doing it for all 50 states. But if you look, I think it's the third bullet down, it'll show the return on investment. For every dollar they spend, they make, and then there's a dollar. Some states make up to $8 roughly on $1 spent. It's all for profit. That's all profit. And in the meantime, the kids aren't getting the money. So that's just food for thought. So before you come and, send me messages and that, all that kind of stuff, been there, done that. I'm not an easy win. I'm not going to debate you. I'm just going to hit you with my website, ask you to go do some research and find out who you're talking to. Just like if I'm going to debate somebody, I want to find out who I'm talking to. So that's just in any situation. So, and I'm not going to bother doing, all this back and forth. If you're on here trolling people, harassing people, I'm gonna have Chi block you, and you got to go. We don't have any time for that. If you want to support the system and sing its praises, there's thousands of pages for y'all to do that. This one isn't it. Let me see what. Well, Byron, that's interesting because, as you know, well, I don't know if you know, but I'm on a board of advisors for a documentary, A Race and Family. The director is Ginger. Oh shoot, I'm gonna see if I can remember her name. Ginger Gentile, and she was recently overseas, and she says that this problem it's a global issue, especially in the poorer countries that actually have child support jails just for parents that can't pay child support. And these parents, she said, don't even have money for shoes. So it's a global issue. So anyway, guys, I gotta get ready to go. I hope to see you all in Huntsville, and I hope. Every time I've been meaning to get on here, but I've been super busy, so I haven't been able to. Chapters. I've had people reach out to me about opening chapters in different states. If you're interested in heading a child support hustle chapter in your state, please send an email to cshustle1@gmail.com. After this Huntsville trip, we're going to be reaching out and getting all the names and stuff like that, and it'll be a page like this. We're still in the process of seeing how we're going to construct it, but it's going to be good when we travel. So we'll have a chapter so that we have somebody on the ground there when we go and do rallies or town halls that can move around, because obviously I can't do anything in California if I'm in Texas. So, and it's going to get more people. We're growing, and anybody that's been fighting this for a long time knows this is not an easy system to beat. It's a trip. So let me see. I don't have any more questions. So okay, y'all, for real, I'm leaving this time. Don't forget the childsupporthustle.com. Send an email. You can send a DM. I don't read the comments, so I'm not gonna respond. But if you want to get me directly, you can send a DM or an email. If you need some help, fill out the new client form instead of sending all your information, because I usually don't have time to read through all that and sort through. We don't handle or help with custody cases just because I have no experience. We don't have experience in that. Most all child support. But I'll send you a link that will give you the statutes on child custody laws in your state. It's a report card. You can Google it from, I'll put it in the link. I can't think of the National Parents, the NPO, National Parents Organization, has a great report that'll give you report grades like A, B, C, D on each state and their custody laws, how they grade them. And then they also give you the statutes of each law, so you can go and look it up and find out what your rights are. Also, in a lot of states, as far as that child custody, based on how much time you have your child, can also decrease your child support. I might do a live about that. Let me check into that, because I wrote a blog, but that was like 2 years ago. So I'm gonna have to refresh on that. Oh, I haven't named it yet, Quincy. I keep playing with it in my head, but I haven't named it. I don't know yet, but I'll definitely let you guys know when I post it. I'll put the link up and everything, the thing, you know, I do here. And everybody that's waiting for their state to come up on those slides, I'm going through them one day, each state a day, a state a day. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, inbox me. Remember, you guys, they are going to shut us down, or trying to shut us down, but we are growing. So don't be deterred. Don't be deterred. We are growing, and they will see that they have to reform the system. So remember, they can ignore one, they can ignore hundreds, but they cannot ignore thousands. Let's go.